Once again, you've joined us for another edition of the Phil Taylor Jones Show, and boy, are we glad to have you. I've been thinking about something. Oscar Hildebrand, one of our great friends, came up with something having to do with sanctuary cities and the murders of people within those sanctuary cities. And as always, he asked me to, kind of put my spin out there as to this very poignant subject. I'm Phil Taylor Jones, your host, and let's jump into this sanctuary right now. What he was talking about on one of his productions, one of his latest productions, was something that came to us by way of a lady that's from Texas. She lives in Houston, or just outside Houston. Her name is Laura Wilkerson, and her family was torn apart because of the loss of her 18-year-old son back in 2010. Did the child die of natural causes? No. Was the child accidentally killed? No. Did he die while being in service to our country by way of being in the military? No. He was brutally killed by an illegal bastard by the name of Hermilo Moralez. This brings to mind something else that has happened here in my home state of California. Beautiful Katie Steinle, 31 years old, walking down the streets of San Francisco with her father, was killed. By what? Natural causes? Any of that stuff? No. By an illegal alien that shouldn't have even been here. This bastard was a 7-time felon, 5-time deportee. What was he doing in San Francisco to kill this beautiful, promising young woman? She was studying to be a doctor. Laura Wilkinson's son. A student, nice kid, never been in trouble, never even received a jaywalking ticket. Let me just read you something. Now, this is from an American parent. Mrs. Wilkerson says, and I quote, "He came in the morning when I was getting ready for work and said, 'Bye, Mom, I'm leaving to go to school.' I said, 'Okay, I love you, Josh.' 'I'll be home early today,' Josh said, 'around 1 o'clock. 'I love you too, Mom.' I said, 'See ya.' I stood there at the glass door, watched him get in his truck, and watched until he got to the end of the street and turned. I shut the door, went on, and proceeded to get ready for work, never knowing it would be the last time I'd ever see him." What a horrible image to have to go through the minds of a parent. And why? Because our stupid government fails to understand the needs of its people. Katie Steinle was killed by this 45-year-old creep, and I'm trying to be nice here, named Juan Fransisco Lopez-Sanchez. Went into the town square and just shot the place up and killed this beautiful girl and injured a few other people. Sanctuary. For whom? Let's delve into this sanctuary garbage. When was it started? Well, let me give you a little background information on that. It was started, well, let me just read this to you. It says the term is not defined by federal law, but sanctuary cities date back to the early 1980s. The sanctuaries began as a religious, there you go with that religion in politics, strange bedfellows, It started, or rather it began as a religious and political campaign in the United States by churches of various denominations to support and shelter refugees fleeing from Central American turmoil. By the mid-80s, more than 250 churches around the country were participating in the movement that was considered to be morally driven and humanitarian. Churches and synagogues believed refugees sent back to their home countries would be persecuted and even face death. Back then, the movement faced powerful dissent. President Ronald Reagan's administration considered the movement to be an illegal political ploy to challenge his policies in Central America. At the time, it was a showdown between the religious community and the federal immigration authorities. As a local government policy in 1979, and you would figure it'd be my crazy home state, Los Angeles became the first sanctuary city, though it wasn't called that at the time. In the internal policy called Special Order Number 40, the city instructed its police officers to not ask arrestees about their immigration status. The city cited as growing diversity and sociological backgrounds as reason to implement this policy, and the order says undocumented alien status itself is not a matter for police action. San Francisco, where Katie Steinle met her fate, identified itself as a sanctuary city in 1989. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a desperate problem here. Our country is overrun by this sanctuary city crap. In my home state of California, there are 36 sanctuary cities, with the one I live in leading the charge. Nationwide, there are over 300 sanctuary cities, with the release of over 10,000 crims, known deportees, known felons, and they create these sanctuary cities to harbor them. On that score, we look at places like Iraq, Afghanistan, other places that harbor criminals, terrorists. We're no better than they are. We can't point to them and say, oh, you're so dirty. You're terrible for harboring terrorists. You're terrible for harboring people that want to do other people bodily harm. We're just as bad, if not worse. Politicians, religious muckety-mucks. Oh, it's humanitarian. Go tell that to Laura Wilkerson. Go tell that to the Steinle family and millions of other families that have undergone this heinous treatment by our own government at the hands of these killers. Is that humanitarian? Is that the godly thing to do? Is to sit there and let people come in and kill you? This is a travesty in and of itself. We basically are like a ship without a rudder. We're going round and round in circles in the ocean, floating up and down, waiting on stupid politicians to do the right thing, which they seemingly don't want to do. I will say that Donald Trump does lead the charge. But my point is, does he lead it strongly enough? He speaks of building a wall, which is cool with me, but he also has spoken of putting a big door in it to let them in. If they want to come across the border the right way. Like I said, folks, I don't care about foreigners. They disgust me. I say, yeah, go ahead, Donald, build that wall. No door. No door. This woman's son was brutally murdered. This bastard hit him in the nose so hard that it actually blinded the kid. Kid was not really a big kid. He weighed about 100 pounds soaking wet. But that wasn't enough. He took a rod, a steel rod, and beat the kid in the head till he broke his skull in 4 places. That wasn't even enough. He started kicking him, and I understand that he was somewhat of a martial arts buff. So he kicked this kid so hard that he split both his spleen and his liver in 2. And even that wasn't enough. He bound and gagged the kid, threw him in the back of his truck, used his money out of his own wallet, the victim's wallet, drove the victim's truck around till he got this kid to a field, took him out, put a shirt over his head, doused him with gasoline, and then set the kid on fire. The police officer said that you go down this little narrow path and you could see a little bundle there. It looked like a toy because Josh was no size. And all in the fetal position and charred body. It was just so surreal. And when the shirt was taken off of his face, it was so grotesque that one of the police officers remained ill for 4 days. When the pictures were presented in court, Mrs. Laura Wilkerson said that this was something she never thought she would ever see and never wants to see again, but she can't help it because the image is now burned into her brain forever. Her baby son in that position, face so grotesque, it would even frighten a sci-fi producer. And this is what our political muckety-mucks chomp at the bit for. Or either they don't do enough to protect us from something like this. What the hell is going on in this country? What the hell is in the minds of these idiots that we send to office? People like Pope Francis have the audacity to tell us what to do. Pope, you piece of garbage, you don't have the right to tell anybody anything. Practice what you preach, you bag of rubbish. You tell us who to accept in our country. I don't see you opening the doors to the Vatican, you bag of crap. You tell us that the people who say they want to build walls are non-Christian, yet you live behind a veritable fortress surrounded by a 45 to 50-foot wall. So you haven't the right to speak, you insignificant bastard. This has got to stop. There should be no sanctuary cities in this country. Oh, well, if we send them back, they may be tortured, they may be killed. That's their bloody problem. And let's think about that for a minute. Most of us probably don't even know what it entails because we've never done it. You see, we do things the right way. We stay in our own damn country. It takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of ingenuity for them to just, they don't just get up and just go. They have to do some heavy planning to get here. I mean, as easy as one might think it is to get here, well, it's not really that easy. So they have to put themselves to a little bit of trouble. If there is that much ingenuity there within them, then stay in your own damn country and fight your own damn battle. And think about that. They're coming from these war-torn places. They're coming from fleeing from drug cartels and all of that violence they're in. So they come here with a screwed up mentality in the first place. Look at all the stuff that this bastard did to Josh Wilkerson. It wasn't enough to hit him in the nose and render him useless. He had to do all of this heinous stuff to this young man. San Francisco, and many bastards all over the country that have done this that don't even make it to the mainstream news media. Because we know what's going on every day. Because these bastards are here in record numbers. 10,000 crims released by the year 2015. We're just in 16. And you know they're releasing them. They're bringing them here. If you deport one of the bastards, he's back here before the ink can dry on the deportation form. But yet, our government turns a blind eye. Government is one of the stupidest, idiotic entity that there is. And the ones that we elect to go to office these days are the most stupid of the stupid. They're as dumb as a dish of fish. They can see something that's right in front of their damn noses and they turn a blind eye to it. You know, they just go right along with everybody else, not taking in consideration what the people feel. I don't want these bastards living near me. And I bet if you were asked that question, you would have your druthers too. But no. Yes, we elect them to go to office, but when we see with our own eyes that they aren't doing the job that we elected them and sent them there to do, then it's time that we should take action. I would like to hope that we're not that damn deluded with these foreigners that we as American people can't stand up and make a statement. If we have to march on Washington as an American people, then let's do it. By any means necessary, take the damn country back. Because these idiot government people are trying to kill us. I've said that many times. But I bet you Mrs. Wilkerson would agree with me. I bet you the Steinle family would agree with me. They are trying to kill us. Because at the dinner table, there is not their daughter Katie. At the dinner table, there is not their son Josh. At many dinner tables around this country, there is not some member of somebody's family because of garbage like this. And where does it end? How in the hell did we get so damn foreign washed that we would now even allow these people to come into the country, give them sanctuary, protect them while they kill us? That makes about as much sense as a monkey going to Sunday school. American people, it's time that you woke up and owned what you used to have. These foreigners are killing us. This immigration crap should never be on the table. Never. Oh, they want to come over and live the American dream. Screw that. American people are on the streets while you give these murderers sanctuary. American veterans are on the streets, can't get the medical attention they deserve while you give these bastards sanctuary. Oh, you want to protect them in their dream act while we live a nightmare. I am looking forward, and I will probably never see it in my lifetime, but I am desperately looking forward to a president that will get his scrounchy ass in there and say these poignant words: my people come first. I don't give a damn about anybody else. My people comes first when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to policing, when it comes to finances, when it comes to jobs, when it comes to education, when it comes to every bloody thing that we expect this country to do for us. My people come first. What's bloody wrong with you? There is no reason on earth why these two people that I just mentioned, plus countless others, are without their family members at the hands of some stupid-ass bastards that have been deported and are known felons, and you give them sanctuary. You stupid religious bastards. You're just as bad as the dumb politicians. You have no right to deny American life. You let those luciferous bastards stay where they are. This refugee crap is nothing but that. Last I looked, this lethal green and blue planet we live on is huge. Why in the hell do they always gravitate to the United States? Because the United States is stupid. The people that run it are idiots. And they have been idiotic for a hell of a long time. You do not give sanctuary to murderous bastards. You do not give sanctuary to anybody while our people are on the streets suffering. You do not give sanctuary to anybody while our veterans, the ones who fought for our freedoms, are in peril. They're lying there with PTSD, broken and battered from wars that they necessarily shouldn't have been fighting, but did on our behalf. And how dare you give any luciferous bastard sanctuary before you give it to them? Our American citizens who've fallen on hard times because of greedy, luciferous bastards in the corporate world, in the bureaucratic world, who've sent our jobs away, and they can't maintain these high rents that these greedy, unscrupulous landlords inflict upon them. But yet you give sanctuary to somebody who's going to brutally kill somebody's son or shoot somebody or somebody's daughter in the head as she's walking down the street with her father. On that score, all of you bastards, from that stupid, idiotic fool of a president we have, right down to the lowest political muckety-muck, which I think is an intern, should be jailed. You are some of the most frightening ghouls I've ever known, to sit there and support or either turn a blind eye to some garbage like this. There should be no sanctuary cities. And to those idiot governors and idiot mayors who put this stuff forward, they should be jailed. And everything they have financially stripped away from them and given to people like Mrs. Wilkerson and the Steinle family. You don't deserve to be in office. You don't deserve any money. You deserve to be under the jail. And maybe one of those murderous bastards that you gave sanctuary to will slit your damn throat. Whose America is this? Who are the ones that are getting the sanctuary, and who are the ones that should be getting it? You want to give sanctuary to murderers. You're way off the mark. And this 2016 election, you better do your damn homework, people. You better do it. And be sure, absolutely sure, 100% sure, unequivocally sure that you know who you're voting for when you mark that thing or you pull that handle or whatever the hell way you vote. Make sure you're making the best choice. You got that slithery ass Clinton. People, you should wake up. You should not put that bag of crap in the White House. You do that, that's going to be worse than the CERN super collider. That cow, that luciferous bastard, slithery Clinton, is the doomsday device. And if you like this country in the most minute way, you will not put something like that in the White House. Though your pickings may be slim, I'd rather see a dog in the White House than her. Because she's a ludicrous liberal lunatic that will follow these policies and keep implementing them or turn a blind eye to them. We don't need somebody like that in the White House. We need somebody in there that will totally obliterate this crap. No more sanctuary cities for these idiots. If one of them creeps across the border, blow his ass off. Up to and including flies. No more this crap about these pregnant ones coming over here about ready to pop, and they opportunistically come here so that they can pop on our soil so that their kid can be a citizen. Nope, you pop him over here and we'll pop you and him, his asses back over the border. Lickety split. We're on to your stupid games. We're on to your being opportunistic, and we won't stand it anymore. This is a new America. You put your heart in this country or you'll get your ass out. I am sick of this crap. How many more Americans have to die at the hands of idiot politicians and their stupid decrees and doctrines and motions and their laws and all this kind of garbage to protect bastards who kill American people? No more. American people, wherever you are, come out and unite and stop this crap. Thank you so much for joining us for the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Hopefully one day, one fine day, we'll get our country back, and this time we're not releasing it to stupid politicians. We'll make the decisions that govern our lives because we are the best ones to do it, not a bunch of slick, shyster-ass lawyers turned sneaky, sleazy-ass politicians. We need to do it. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next time right here on the Phil Taylor Jones Show. Bye-bye.